Good evening, beautiful black people. My beautiful black geniuses. Welcome to another edition of the Black Wealth Project weekly town hall meeting. Today's event or today's topic is going to be all of our biggest financial regrets. So everybody's going to share what their biggest financial regrets are, and we would like all of you that are watching to share what are some of your biggest financial regrets as well. So hello, everybody. What's up with the Black Wealth team? How are y'all today?
Chilling. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's up?
Good.
Everybody's good, man. We good. We here, so
yeah. We all made it. So we winning right now. We won.
Absolutely. This year has been tough. This year has showed that no day, no time, no hour is promised. So I'm glad to see all y'all. Even though one of y'all called me a monkey, but it's okay. And then, Courtney she done got the Rams, y'all. She on here busting on everybody. So it's a good day. It's a good day.
I know. Backstage.
Wait. Let's clarify for the record. I did not call you a monkey. So I don't want anybody to think like, oh, nope. Let's clarify that to all my
viewers. You have called me monkey in the past.
Stay away from them. I'll call you a whole bunch of other stuff, but I won't call you monkey. There's I have a whole list. I have a litany of things.
A litany.
Nobody called them monkey. That's the saying. That's it.
Just a little cliche.
Okay.
It is a cliche, but I didn't say so.
We're using slavery terms on me. It's still 1865 around this joint.
Oh,
all right, well, listen, folks. Again, welcome to the Black Wealth Project. Today's topic is our biggest and greatest financial regrets. So be sure to chime in, tell us where you're coming in from, and let us know what your biggest financial regrets are. So on to our health check-in. How is everybody doing with that? Going with Corey. You get shots up today.
I did. I got up shots till I made 50. So I don't know how many shots I took, but I got up shots till I made 50. And so, my shoulder feeling better because I was out there looking like pure D trash about 2 weeks ago. It's like I never shot a jump shot in my life, and then today I was out there looking like Steph Curry in his prime. So it depends. You catch me on whatever day you catch me on. It depends on how I'm gonna look. I can look like I can be out there looking like shooting bricks, or I can be out there looking like Steph.
Hey,
you still driving, bro? You still driving?
I was still driving. Matter of fact, let me take the seatbelt off. I was driving. I was about the seatbelt. I was driving. I just pulled up right before the show.
If y'all didn't catch that, that was a little stab, y'all.
I normally don't have a seatbelt on, so he helped me out right there. Cause I definitely was driving right before the show.
All right, Malik, how was your week this week?
It was good, except for my refrigerator froze up, so I had to eat everything in the refrigerator. So we was eating vegan on it was not even by design this week. All we had was vegan food, so we didn't want to buy anything until we ate everything in our refrigerator. So that was gone. So we had like some super random meals all week long until But today I made the mistake. I had a delicious burger, but now I feel like crap right now. I feel terrible about that burger. Won't do it again.
All right, so you're going to extend being vegan for the weekend, so being vegan for the whole week.
Yeah, I might have to. Definitely off of that cow for sure.
All right. Tracy, coming to you next. What was your health like this week?
Definitely busy. Always still walking around. I didn't do real great with food this week. I had a lot of 40th birthday parties and gatherings and outdoor picnics and cake and stuff. So I'm gonna pay for it next week. So I might have to change up my diet to do a little better next week.
Okay. All right. Well, you sound like me a little bit, so you must have been partying.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of cocktails going around and shots. my folks, I've known them 20 plus years, so we have to turn up for 40.
Gotcha. All right, Courtney. I know you was on the Peloton.
One time, so I was only in Peloton, and actually today, like I got a little note was like, "Hey," I think this happened last week too. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna mess up your 32-week streak or whatever, or 33 to whatever streak I was on." They were like, "You're gonna mess it up if you don't get on today," and I was like, "Oh." So I got on. I've just been really busy. I just finished up the summit. I did the 7 Streams of Income Summit Monday through Wednesday. So prepping for that, and then kind of just relaxing on the other side. I kind of let the week get away from me, but I'm actually starting a 8-week challenge on the bike. So I should be a little bit more back onto my regular schedule. Like I've learned that I actually have to have a plan. And if I don't have a plan, I go astray. So
Okay.
get back in session.
Plan your work your plan. I hear you. All right, Jimmy. I know you Pelotoned out this week.
Yes, I did, man. I got my 60-day badge for 60 consecutive days of being on the Peloton. Lost another 4 pounds, so that's a total of 43 pounds since June. So I'm in the zone right now, man. I got my 60-day badge. Yo, the Peloton badges, man, they play a psychological game with you, which is why I understand exactly what Courtney's talking about when they send you the like notification, like, yo, your streak. So I got 60 right now. I'm at 62 days right now. So, keep it moving until I get this 100. But yeah, man. So shout to Peloton.
All right. So moving right along. I know today Malik is going to be doing our Bob of the Week. But before I say that, one of the reasons why we do the healthy check-in or the health check-in is because health is wealth, right? I know a lot of times we get caught up in chasing the bag and getting the money, and we won't take the time out to drink some water, get some exercise, get some movement in. But those things are really important, folks. So Malik, who you got for us this week?
So first off, Kamari, how was your week?
Oh, thank you for that.
Look at you looking being nice.
Isn't that sweet? That's real sweet.
Oh,
Sweet.
My week sucked. I'm not even going to lie. I played golf today. Got some steps in out there, but I didn't ride today. I didn't run today. I didn't get my kettlebell out. So I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling bad. I have been upping my water intake though. So I'm working on a gallon a day. So other than that, I did
that was another old golf pick.
No, that was a golf pick. That was bro.
Yo, my man got on the Weekend Tiger gear right now.
Yeah.
He got on the Weekend Tiger right now. I ain't mad at you. That Tiger Woods had fire. I just wouldn't wear it because I don't,
I gotta get you like you and Jimmy because I still love y'all logo and that logo on that hat. So, and y'all gotta tell me how I can buy that.
We got you.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So Malik, what's up, man? What's the
Yo.
BOB of the week?
All right, BOB of the week is Doe.com. What Doe is another trading platform. It's newer. They're taking on the Robinhood investors. The founder is a gentleman by the name of Victor Jones. He was the TD Ameritrade Director of Trading Operations. And he founded this company, and then he met a guy while he was at TD, and the gentleman he met founded Tastyworks. And so Tastyworks is the first investor. They invested $20 million in the company and brought them under the Tastyworks umbrella. And Victor Jones still runs it as the CEO. He founded it still as the CEO. And no commission trade, no compromise. They do is they only charge you $1 a month, and that's because they deliver a lot of original content for investors. And I'm more than sure that the money that goes to creating the content. You go to their at the top, Kamar. If you go to their Instagram, can you click on that? If it'll go there, and then you can see a lot of the content they put up here on Instagram. But like I said, it's Tastyworks. So taking on Robinhood.
Hey Malik, I do have a question for you though. I watch Tastyworks. They have some cool stuff. But if they're under the Tastyworks brand, are they really a BOB, or does he have some kind of ownership stake?
Well, I mean, he founded the company, right? So I would imagine he still has ownership stake. Like Tasty Works invested in him and put him under the umbrella. So I'm sure I haven't seen the report. I haven't seen Investor's report, but he is the founder, and I wouldn't imagine him selling 100% of his company, right, to be under Tasty Works.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not for no $20 million.
Well,
That's
listen,
not bad either. Like
no
$1 a month.
I had to ask the question because somebody was going to ask that or say that.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, that's a factual statement. $1 a month's not bad either. I mean, that's $12 for the year. Like,
Yeah.
I come from the era where you're paying $40-$50 a trade. So for like $12 is,
That right there. I think my first trade that I actually made was $36.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think I bought like a share and a half or something. Like I bought like maybe 2 shares. So yeah, back in it, it was rough. My cost basis was crazy. But all right, let's move on.
Yep. All right, so listen.
A flashback.
With our folks. Shout out to Don, right? Don actually retweeted us today or the other day, and he really enjoyed our episode last week. And he suggested that we kind of do a Black business icon of the week, very similar to the Black Business of the week. So I really like that.
I like that.
Wanted to bring it to the team. We can chop it up and we can figure it out from there. But I really like it. So shout out to Don. I appreciate you.
That's
now
dope.
Don did a little low key stunt on us.
Stunt man Don.
Don just got back to Japan. Now he's in North Carolina. So shout out to Don and all his worldly travels.
Hey, my man, everybody else stuck in the States.
Yeah.
What's up, Rich?
Rich, what's good? I'm broke, baby.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm broke.
Good.
Okay, Bob of the Week, Hakeem's Bookstore got Black Labor, White Wealth, and Powernomics from them. Oh, great service and fast delivery. So listen, I want to tell a quick story about Hakeem's. Years ago, I helped organize a cash mob at Hakeem's when I can't think of the sister's name who runs the store now, but she was ready to go out of business. It was her father's store. Her father was Hakeem, and I got quoted in the paper for everything. We helped her stay in business. That is one of my best feelings ever from doing, the cash mobs with Black-owned businesses. So shout out to you, Don, for supporting Hakeem's Bookstore. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I got my first wall poster from Hakeem's. I got the Malcolm X Martin poster from Hakeem's back in like 92.
Oh,
shout out to Hakeem's. Yo, Share Builder. I remember Share Builder.
I would love to frame that. And put that up. That's dope, though. So Richard says Share Builder was killing him.
I remember them, yo. Richard go back to this.
Yeah. He go way back. Atia, what's going on?
Atia, how you doing? Oh, Don says, nah, that's military life. That's still baller life, though.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Wide and the low all on the same day. You balling, bro. Don't deny it. Just embrace it. Just embrace it.
All love.
All right. So as we go into our main topic today, main topic again is what are our biggest financial regrets in life, right? So as you're watching and participating in, make sure you share with us what your biggest financial regrets are in life. And do us a favor, share this out with other folks. Because, one of the things Jimmy said was everybody talks about their wins. They talk about them W's, but nobody talks about them L's. And I was really glad Jimmy said that because, again, we're seeing people protest. We're seeing people press lawsuits and all kind of things. And a lot of that is due because they're not transparent. So definitely want to talk about that today. So I want to start this off with Corey. Corey, what are some of your biggest financial regrets?
Oh, man. Whew, I got, oh, man. Let's see.
I feel like you kind of shared some of them already.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
so
you were telling about last week when you lost 4 stacks in options.
Right. Yeah. I got manhandled this week in options. Well, on one side, I made some trades this week that went against my whole principles of trading because I got caught up in the FOMO. Even an experienced trader gets caught up in FOMO, and I got manhandled for Forex this week in my account.
Tell me what FOMO is, Corey. Everybody don't know.
Fear of missing out. So I was chasing Apple stock. I was running behind Apple stock like like some WAP. And then and I got I got caught playing out there. I got caught tricking, and did Apple smacked me in my grill for 4 racks this week, chasing after it. So but what happened was on Friday, Apple was down a little bit. I grabbed some Apple contract, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, that joint traded sideways on me, and then I lost all the value of my contracts. And then so happened on Thursday and Friday, it ran right to the strike price where I had it. I had some Apple 495s though. I had some Apple 495s that I bought last Friday that expired on the 21st, and for sure on the 21st it was 495. But on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I lost like 70% of the value in my contract and got whacked in the head.
So you were some calls.
Huh?
You were calls. 495 calls.
Yeah, I had 495 calls. And if I would have held them till like I don't like to hold till expiration. So basically what I should have did was either put the contract another week out, or I should have waited until Wednesday to actually put the contract on and then trade it out of it. But again, FOMO was, I'm like, yo, everybody gonna buy Apple this week. And if they know what I know, they should buy it on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So to make sure that they have it for the split and don't get I'm thinking like an actual investor, and everybody else is like, nah, dog, what are you talking about? And so, I got whacked in the head. But that ain't, that's not one of my biggest regrets, because I got whacked in the head like that a few times. If you're a trader, sometimes they just have it. So that's like on the top 10 things, that's like number 2073.
It's funny. We got all these quote unquote investing gurus who never lose, right? Never lose. And I tell people all the time, if somebody tells you they never lost in the market, they're lying flat out, or either they're not investing. And still,
in fact, to me, if you haven't blown up an account, then you ain't a real trader. And I'm just glad that you shared that even an experienced trader catches the FOMO, right? Because I think that's a good point. Because when you talk about trading and even investing to a certain degree, like a lot of it is mental and emotional. Is just not, it's not about how smart you are. Sometimes you just act emotional. So I think it's interesting to share that someone who does this for a living and trades full time still goes through that. So I just think that should be shared.
I want to follow on to that real quick, right? So we're coming up to Courtney next, but before we get to Courtney, out of everybody on the panel, how many of y'all think how much of mental and emotional strength goes into investing? What do you think?
I think it's 90% of
90.
I think we're 90.
I mean, because discipline to me is probably like top, and I think that's part of it. Part of it is discipline.
Out of the top 5, discipline is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Die line. Discipline is that die line.
No, that's the KRS one. You said it's number 1? No, I'm sorry, I lied. It's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So I think it depends. I think it really depends if it's investing or trading. I mean, or, investing with real estate or flipping. I think it just really depends on, I think because with investing, you're kind of doing it for the long run. And as long as you kind of just can keep it together, you're good. But I think with flips, I think people get so, or even with trading, kind of those quick turnarounds, I think the emotion plays a lot more, because I think in those split decisions can make or break your, whatever you're trying to do in real estate or in the market. So I think it just depends. I think emotion is always going to be it, but I think emotion actually, you have to be better with your emotions as a trader than you do as an investor, to me.
I feel like it's pretty equal, because long-term real estate investors know that like the emotion coming out of doing these flips and these deals and these situations is like paramount. Like your numbers is literally your gospel and your guide, and you can't play those games with FOMO or anything else when it comes to those tight timelines. So I do feel like discipline all the way around, whether it's flipping, investing, short-term or long-term, is like your guide.
I agree. And I think, emotions come into play in everything from business to investing and trading. And I think sometimes, you know, like Tracy just said, even the long-term traders, right? Sometimes they might refi because they in their feelings and they pull out everything, pay off all their debt, and then run it right back up. But that was all an emotional trigger. You know, sometimes they hold on too long because they get attached to a property. Same thing with stock, right? They hold on too long because they get attached to it. That's all emotional.
Right. So it's and the thing is, it's real easy to lose that discipline. I'm gonna give you, for example, I was looking to buy a position on Friday. I went to go look it up. It was like 10 racks. I'm like, that was like rich.
That's that Tesla.
Huh?
That's that Tesla.
No, that wasn't Tesla. This is Nvidia, right? And so I was like, all right, you know, it's 10 racks. And so I was thinking about pulling the trigger. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pull the trigger. I'm not gonna go and pull. I'm new to drop 10 racks on this position, even though I know what's going to go. But then by the end of the day, it was up 18%. So now next time, it's going to be real easy for me to say, see what you did last time? That discipline don't always help, you know? And so I got to get that part out of my head because I know that part. Then now I'm like, all right, how do I keep the discipline next trip when I just cost myself pretty much 1,800 in like 4 hours? You know, it's tough.
See, I would disagree with that.
The thing is, when you have a system, it's easier to be disciplined, right? And so, you know, that's one contract. But if it didn't fit into your system, then it wasn't a loss. You know what I mean? So if you have parameters and it didn't fit in those parameters, then it's not a loss.
Also,
it is what it is.
You didn't lose money, right? You can't count that as a loss because you never had that money, right? You held on to your principle, which is the most important thing to do, is to hold on to that principle. So I wouldn't even look at that like, you know, but I understand the point you're trying to make. But you have to do your analysis and trust your analysis. That's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
But here's the thing, though. I think that's exactly my point of what I was saying, is that discipline is the counter to emotion. Like discipline, you have a system that you follow and you don't color outside the lines. So that's what I was more saying, is that when you have a system, you have this emotional aspect, as long as you stick to your system. But I think when you start, you know, like, oh, well, let me see if I can do this over here. And then things get lost and then you lose money. And I don't like losing money. You know, rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2 is what?
Remember rule number 1.
But this is what, listen, like I said, on a list of 1 to 20, that's number 2073. Because I've lost money doing a lot of stuff during my life because I had a lot of free fast money that wasn't really, you know, attached to nothing. So on a list of things of money, man. So one of my biggest financial regrets, I'm gonna give you a top 2. The one that I regret the most is when I was in the Army and I was this is my first time getting leave in the Army, and I went to Miami Beach on leave.
Hold on, Corey. I gotta ask. This ain't going to involve no WAP, is it?
I mean, it was chasing WAP.
Man.
I spent the money chasing WAP, but anyway, mind your business. So anyway, so I was I was stationed in Fort Gordon, Georgia. I drove down. I drove down to Miami Beach, and I had like 20 racks saved up, right? So I rented a hotel room on the beach, and I was through those 20 racks and borrowing money by Wednesday.
God.
I was through those 20 racks and borrowing money by Wednesday. That's one of my biggest financial regrets.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
I mean, the crazy part is I was able to borrow money and I almost went through another 20 racks. So,
all right. Well, hold that thought, Corey. We gotta get the Courtney down. We'll be on that all night. I got so many more questions. I have so many more questions.
I do. I'm like, I'm here.
Sounds like a good YouTube video. That's like a good YouTube video, man.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Courtney, what was your biggest financial regret?
So I think the biggest one that I have is that I did not buy real estate when all they were doing was checking your pulse for a mortgage. That is probably the biggest financial.
I had Tracy in the background, right?
Because that
brought up live.
They were just like, "Are you breathing?" Oh, okay, you get a mortgage. Oh, you have a
Man,
job? Doesn't matter how much you make. Doesn't matter. We got you.
the good old days.
No worries. We're gonna put you in an IO, interest only. Cool.
You know, all right. So Courtney, hold that thought because I want to get you and Tracy in on this, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, that time period you were talking about is like that 06, 07 kind of
Starting about
right.
Yeah.
A lot of that was at the top of the market. So do you think, and y'all, rest of y'all jump into if y'all think that would have still been a good time to buy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, definitely. I mean, even still, like, had I see one thing I will say is, had I known about house hacking, what I would have done is I would have purchased a duplex. And when I was in law school, I would have moved out because I ended up getting an apartment in like 07. So I didn't have any expenses, in 05. So I could have gotten away with that. I could have had no expenses, got myself a duplex, then went to law school, done whatever I was going to do, and had somebody renting it out. And I would still had a proper income generating property. And that would have started the portfolio. Now, I'm not a huge real estate fan. Tracy knows this. But because of taxes, you can't get around the benefits of real estate, or buy and hold real estate, I should say, because flipping is treated as inventory and is a completely different tax situation. But buy and hold real estate by far is the best opportunity in terms of taxes. And at the time, I was making a lot of money at Merrill. So I needed something to offset, and I didn't have that. So and had I had something to offset, and I also had an asset, it would have put me in a better situation when I got out of law school. So I think it's just kind of all of that. That could have been the building blocks of something really great. I mean, I have stuff great now, but I can like look and say, oh, I could have done that a lot better. So I think that's my biggest regret. But after that, I would say I actually purchased a lot of stock right after being an advisor with American Express Financial Advisors. So I did that maybe about 04, 05. I purchased a lot, and Jimmy and I were talking about how expensive commissions were, but I ended up selling a lot of that. I ended up selling a lot of that off, and I'm really like frustrated with myself for even doing that. Now I did keep some holdings, but for the most part, I sold a lot. And it just, looking back on, it's like, what were you doing? Oh, you didn't have an emergency fund, really? So you need to cash out your stock for real? Like that kind of a thought process is like, so the not purchasing real estate and actually selling out of my early stock positions in 2005, 2006 unnecessarily. So yeah. And then Don was talking about how he had a bonus. I got bonuses every year in Merrill, really large bonuses. I have no idea where that money. I can tell you some of it in Manila. I can tell you some of it in the Philippines. I can tell you that. I definitely know that for a fact. Some of the money that I got from Merrill Lynch on bonuses is definitely in Manila somewhere. But beyond that, I have no idea where that money went. So there's like 3 of them. Like, what were you doing with your money? Why were you being ridiculous? And why didn't you buy real estate? Those are my 3.
Okay.
It goes down to Manila too. So I'm really interested. Hopefully what happens in Manila stays in Manila. But again,
though, like it just, they have really, I mean, the conversion rate was 49-1. And they have beautiful leather. What do you my leather? I was buying everything.
That'll do it.
And we'll be on Jimmy next. So Jimmy, let us know what are your biggest financial regrets.
Yeah, I shared one online the other day, which is kind of what led to this conversation, which was about Amazon stock. So I'm not going to reshare that. Y'all can go to the Buy the Hood page on my personal page to see that. But so many of them. We could do a whole show with my regrets dealing with contractors and real estate. That could be a whole show. And I know some of y'all got contractor stories too. A lot of mine is about selling things too early, right? But again, it goes back to your analysis. I could tell you a story from just like last year. I owned a bunch of Tesla stock, and my entry point was less than $200. And once Tesla got to 500, I sold all of it. Because my analysis told me that they weren't making money. I mean, my analysis still stands, but it's just the fact that I didn't realize that Elon was running a church and not a company. So
facts.
If I'd have recognized that, I could have held on to it, and I would have had, I don't want to say what I would have had because I don't want to put that out there, but I would have had a substantial amount of money. So selling things too early, not understanding like just the idea of holding on to certain things, and I can give so many numbers of that with the stock. But that Amazon one is a great example because that was a literal conversation that I will never forget. Because I'm sitting there like looking at Amazon at the time, and I'm like, yo, they sell books. Like, how much money is Amazon really going to generate? Because I'm like, Barnes and Noble's about to come eat their food. Amazon won't even be here. You know, I'm talking trash, and so now Amazon's the biggest company in the world. So a lot, but again, it's all about doing your analysis and sticking to it. I got so many stories like that in the stock market. In terms of just real estate, I would say not buying more because I actually still have some property from the time Courtney was talking about. So I actually still had some, but I could have bought so many more. But what I was trying to do at the time was to buy in different states. So at the time I had about 6 states that I own properties in. And I kind of like, wore myself thin trying to, spread myself thin going from here to there to there because I had terrible property managers. If I would have just focused in Philadelphia, it would have been a big difference. The last thing I want to say is this. The last thing I want to say is cryptocurrency. So I heard about cryptocurrency years ago. I used to be on Google Plus. There was nobody on Google Plus but a bunch of nerds. But they used to transact with cryptocurrency on Google Plus back in the day. And I ignored it. And it wasn't until Corey basically was like, listen, stop doing analysis, just shut up and buy it. And I did. And I made a lot of bread in crypto because Corey told me like 2016, but I had heard about it years previous, but really didn't know.
Go get them racks, bro. There's money to be made.
Yeah, Corey pretty much Corey's ready to smack me. He said, look, stop, just go buy some. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it so you can leave me alone. And that ended up like being one of the best performing assets I've ever had. Because when we bought in, we were buying at a time when you could buy a coin for like next to nothing. I'm talking about whole coins. So, I was able to use Bitcoin. So when people tell me about Bitcoin, it's not real, it's not that. I'm like, listen, Bitcoin bought me a rental property. So you can say what you want to say about it. But the fact of the matter is, I could have had so much more of it because I was aware of it, but just ignored it. So I think that's probably one of my biggest regrets.
Okay. All right. I'm going to flash this up here. Right. So Monica Williams says waiting too long to start contributing to her 457 plan. So
yeah,
I get it. All right. We are coming to you next. What's your biggest?
I got a ridiculous amount of financial disasters. One, wait until pretty much last year to really understand money is probably my biggest problem. It's the reason why now I'm like, listen, I'm ringing the alarm. Like everybody, like, yo, I messed up, but y'all ain't got to. Nobody told me, but I'm telling y'all, do these things.
Let's unpack that. What do you mean by you didn't understand money? You've been in the real estate game forever.
Right. I know real estate, but I didn't understand. And I still don't really understand the different retirement plans. I didn't understand life insurance. I didn't understand how these things impact my life. It wasn't until I'm trying to figure out how to transfer wealth that I realized that my financial literacy was like almost zero. My saving grace is that I'm not a spender anymore. I'm not a spender because I blew hundreds of thousands of dollars when I was in college. I made a lot of money in college. I blew through hundreds of thousands easily, and I went broke twice. Those days of I was a mortgage banker back in 2008, right? I thought I was going to be rich. I know I was going to be rich from giving these loans away. I could give people a mortgage with a 500 credit score, 100% financing, and they could have $4,999 in collections and get 100% financing. I knew I was going to be rich. I was in everybody's house at that point. I was up in the market street like, you want a crib? Like, yo. And so, and when it collapsed, I didn't have almost any savings left. Like once it collapsed, and I had like $80,000. I had a net branch, and so the money went to the franchise first. So I had like $80,000 at the franchise I didn't collect from them, and they filed bankruptcy, and that left me with like almost nothing left. To the point where I had to work at LA Fitness. I'm saying, like, just to make ends meet. And so. There was that circumstance, and I'm glad I wasn't buying houses when it was just like pointing to shooting, because I would have lost it all. I know that. I know I lost it all because I wouldn't have bought right. My understanding of I was buying property, but I wasn't necessarily buying right when I first started. It's just that now it paid off over time. you know. But I will say my biggest regret, I didn't want to. It's also real estate related. Is I had a rooming house at 22nd and Dolphin I was making money on. That shit caused so much stress in my life running that rooming house. I made a lot of money out of that place, but it was very stressful running it. And that was my first and only foreclosure in that building, to the point where I was actually at the auction when it went up for share sale. And I felt like Prince Akeem at the Knicks game. Yes, yes. So that house had caused me so much anxiety that it was a relief came over me when it was no longer my responsibility. That's how much of a burden that property was to me. You know, it was a financial anchor. When I got rid of that, I had to do everything cash for 2 years, and that's cool. But I recovered, and now I'm back mortgageable and doing things. But like that was a huge anchor. And like not buying right, you know, FOMO. Like, damn, we making all this money doing rooms. I'm at it, but I'm like, yo, that shit was risk. Doing that, my son too. Like the risk. My risk tolerance went down when I had my kid. Like it was going. Like an adult, it was going down. Like it was. You know, they was like the wire out that joint, man. So, you know, I had to fall back.
That's right next to Raymond Rosen Project. So you know
oh my
he was
God,
going
man,
there.
listen. But I worked at Blumberg. So I was familiar with public housing. I worked at Blumberg for 4 years, you know, and so actually when I worked at Blumberg, I would drive through Raymond Rose and get to the property, collect rent. And so I was food. Because everybody knew on the rent, man, I'm leaving the house. I got 8 rooms in there. I'm collecting money every week. I'm food to everybody out there, you know. So, you know, and you know what's real, I want to move this forward real quick. I felt more stress. It's crazy. I felt more stress from the police down there than from the street dudes when I had to go to in at nighttime. Leaving North Philly at nighttime, the police would pull me over. I had too much anxiety from like, listen, I just want to cross the Strawberry Mansion Bridge, get back to West Philly. Like the police put so much pressure on people down there that I had a pocket full of money that the wolves wanted, but I was worried about them, but I was more worried about the police harassment from being down there, you know, and you know, but there's that, you know, but only other thing I do want to say this, I don't want to picture for someone that, but I do regret before I put the house I live in now, it was a church for selling Grace Ferry. I really disliked Grace Ferry at the time, but the church was 200,000, and I was trying to convince my wife to buy the church to move in, and she would not do it. Like, yo, it's 200,000. We get a whole church. It was a school in the front that opened up to a sanctuary. And like, listen, we could convert the 3rd floor to a condo. We could do whatever we want with the other 3 floors and then the sanctuary, and that's it. Like, so I was on that, and my wife put her foot down, and we didn't pull the trigger on that. But now look at Grace Ferry. I could have been down there. I could have been on West. I could have done everything down there, man. Yeah. For 200,000 whole church, man, Grace Ferry.
Hey, she wanted somewhere to live. I get it.
We could listen. They had a kitchen already in it. They had a kitchen. They had everything you needed.
You're gonna be real mad when you find out what that church sold for and what that building.
Oh man, listen, I know. It's Grace Ferry right now. Oh my God, but I know it's millions, but
I know that number got an M on the back of it.
It definitely got an M on the back.
Definitely. All right, Tracy, it's on you. What are one of or some of your biggest financial regrets?
For me, I feel like my regrets were probably just more not moving fast enough on deals, and also being scared to not think that I could handle a deal that scared me, if that makes sense. I'll tell you a story. I had a friend of mine who was actually pretty close with one of my mentors. He had a portfolio that he was working with another gentleman that was basically one of his Penn Law School professors. And they decided years ago that they were going to buy property together. He had apprenticed under him and everything else. And he was like, Trace, I'm looking to get out of this because I want to start doing bigger projects and developments and different things. And I'm willing to sell my share of the partnership to you, because I know that you would be able to deal with the partner, because he was an older Jewish guy and kind of set in his ways, but very familiar with numbers and paperwork, and as long as that made sense, he would always let the other partner lead. At the time, I think he wanted $1 million for his partnership. And when I went to go look at it, the number scared me. The partnership kind of scared me a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I would rather just own the properties outright. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. And I passed on it. Well, the partnership, if you understand today, was 15 triplexes in University City proper.
Ooh.
Lord.
Oh, ouch.
Lord.
Yeah. And for those of you who are watching who don't know what that means,
Yeah, because everybody's not from Philly.
that's what I was about to say.
Ouch.
Each individual property was probably with triplexes in University City. That means Penn, Drexel, University of the Sciences are all in a half a mile radius. So tenants were never a problem. The buildings itself were probably worth $500,000 at the time. So with it being 15 triplexes and the partnership to literally control and have access to not only the buildings, the possessions, and the equity, it would only cost me $1 million.
Oh my God.
I wish I would have found the money.
Oh my God.
But I think that's interesting that you talk about a partnership. Partnerships in tax world is the way that we play the most games.
Mm-hmm.
We play so many games in partnership tax, and just imagine the leverage you would have had you been able, like, whatever, to finance it. But also the way that would have worked out on those K1s and how you could have played.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm way more educated in taxes.
Yo, the write-offs.
The write-offs.
The write-offs. Oh.
It's like manna from heaven.
Right. But I'll say this, at a minimum, that one deal possibility being dropped in my lap actually dropped a seed for me to educate myself on a lot of different facets about real estate that most people don't think about. And I'll tell you now, if that opportunity ever drops in my lap ever again, I will find the money.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Yeah. I think that's a good point right there, Tracy. That, like, because we all of us have, like, these regrets and mistakes, but let's not get it twisted. We learn from all of them. Well, I mean, I hope you guys have learned from some of our mistakes. But yeah, I hope you guys have. I mean, Corey, with you and your Miami story, but I hope you've learned from that. That's all I'm saying, because any mistake that I've made, you absolutely learn from. That's where you learn.
Yeah.
I'm a family man now, so those Miami stories no longer exist.
Got you.
Thank God.
Thank goodness for that.
We don't want you to turn up in the river, because I know your wife ain't going for it.
Not at all. She's not.
Happy anniversary, by the way. I noticed your anniversary today. You still working, so happy anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
Appreciate that.
Shout out to Black Love in the building.
No.
And I also think, Malik's, your anniversary was last week too, right?
Yeah, last week's the anniversary.
Happy anniversary, man. You tried to hide it with the 52 fake out, but happy anniversary, though.
Happy anniversary.
Listen, everybody in the chat and the audience, put Black Love in the chat for us, please.
We got some crazy stories in the chat. I know
I see a lot of stuff in the chat that's pretty good, man.
Crazy stories.
And I'm definitely going to get to it. I'm going to go last. I was trying to let everybody air it out.
Yeah.
But I got two big regrets, and I think some of y'all might laugh at one of them. One of them talks about real estate or involves real estate. So I had a piece of property down Temple, right off Allegheny Avenue, 13th and Allegheny, and I brought it with a partner. And that, if people don't know, it was around Temple Hospital, around Temple Dental School, around Temple Medical School, and the whole plan was to rehab it and rent it out to Temple students. Sadly, me and my partner couldn't get along. We didn't have enough money at the time. We didn't know about hard money. We didn't know about refinancing. And a lot of it, the property was at a lower price range also at the time. So even trying to refi was really hard. But sadly, I pulled out. He brought me out. But I wish I still had that property to this day because there's so much potential going on out there.
To this day.
To this day. And he never did anything with it. It's still vacant.
Does he still own it?
He's still
Well, Kamar, you didn't miss a whole lot. The east side still cheap. The west side up there. The east side, you can still get over there for the low.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the rental income. I mean, the rental income right there just would have been phenomenal. That's what I missed. You're right. There is still some opportunities down there, but the price that we got that property for, there's no way I'll ever be able to get that.
I ain't getting that no more. What's your second one?
My second one, Bank of America. I missed out on buying Bank of America when Bank of America was $4.50. And so right now, Bank of America is at $24.98. So that's roughly a 500% return. And Bank of America has been as high as 32. So that's definitely regret. Now, I have a third regret.
Oh.
I owned Apple when it was $23 a share.
Yeah.
But I don't feel so bad about Apple because I sold it. I was dirt broke. My son was in school when I was younger and had him. I was the primary custodian or the primary parent. And I had to sell that to keep him in private school because I kind of made a vow. I wanted to make sure my son never went to public school. Yada. Stupid now at the time. Wish I would have kept that Apple at 23.
Yeah.
So,
you know the crazy
Listen,
part
he could do more with that cash than that education.
Yeah, you know, you could have gave him that Apple stock. You know the crazy part about like these stock stories, right? And the story I told about Tesla. Funny thing about Tesla is when I sold it, I had doubled my money. So I actually, it's a post on my IG page where I was like, you know, I was talking trash. I had a fire caption, like, you know what I mean? I don't even own a Tesla, but made XYZ off. That's why I don't post no more about wins. I only post losses now because in retrospect, it looks stupid now that Tesla's what Tesla closed out on Friday?
Like 2050.
Yeah, the post I put up, I think I sold out at like 500.
oh.
But again, I bought again. I bought under 2, but you know, so I like more than double my money, and I thought I was the smartest guy in the world. And now looking back, I'm like, ugh.
But I think you have to kind of color in your lies. Like you still have to have your own hard stops. And I left when I invest for the long term. I invest like I'm an owner of the company, and I ain't like Elon Musk jumping down with Trump. And I sold it. I was up. I probably doubled. I'm pretty sure I doubled my money in Tesla. I was like, I'm gonna have to let you go. So I look at Tesla on a tear, and I'm just like, I don't really mess with y'all. I have another word, but I'm not gonna say it. I don't really mess with y'all no way. I mean, and I get it, and I see the allure, but I think Jimmy, you make a very valid point. They just started making money.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Everybody, you know, and I think that's kind of what a lot of people who are excited about Tesla, you know, they look so far into the future that we're not looking at today. I mean, I think there's everybody thinks that the trajectory is up and it can go down. It can.
None of those stories is worse than mine. None of those stories is worse than mine. I bought AMD. I bought AMD in 2017. I'm sorry.
One thing I learned through the years also is how to take out your principal that you've put in and then like still just hold some, because I used to be like, either I'm all in on this company or I'm all out. Like either I'm gonna be a shareholder or I want no shares. Like now what I understand is, you know, I could take back my principal. I could leave a little bit there, you know, just in case, but didn't really understand that part at the time.
Gotcha. And after Corey, I want to check in with these comments.
I bought shares in AMD. I bought 500 shares of AMD in 2017 at $600 a pop. I want y'all to check what AMD finished at this week.
AMD is like 82.
Oh, listen, I lost them to covered calls.
So AMD is $83.81.
Just saying, I bought 500 shares when they was $6 a pop in 2017. And so y'all can talk about Tesla all you want to, but that stock went way to the left of where Tesla went.
Got you. All right, well, let's check in with these comments real quick. So Don says his biggest regret was $80K re-enlistment bonus in 2008. Bought a Chrysler 300. Don was the black on black. And he said he could have dumped all that nap on Microsoft. Yeah.
You studying your
300. The 300 could have been 300.
Hey, baby sis, how you doing?
So Kirsten says my biggest regret is I'm now starting to deal with my finances. I'm very new at this. When I say new, I mean brought my first stock April this year with the help of my brother. Go ahead, brother. More black love. I love it. I'm just now starting to look at multiple streams of income. I wish I had started years ago. Yeah, but you're on your way now, so ain't no looking back.
I started.
All right, oh wow.
Oh,
I was having events arranged and an owie at the same time trying to stunt, making like 40K with a second job and another hustle.
Chasing that one.
She has this. I know what the was going on. That British. So that maintenance is not cheap, bro.
It's a mortgage payment. Ben's maintenance. Tracy, you see my bills. A Ben's payment is a like maintenance. They're like, oh, you're just in for a service. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. They're like, oh, it's a B service, so it's like $600. Okay, that hurts, but fine. They're like, oh, Miss Richardson, and they knew me by name. They're like, hey, it was like Cheers. Your car dealership should never be like Cheers. And they're like, oh, you know, your tire, because there's always a tire problem with the Benz. Your tire, this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. And before I know it, I had a mortgage payment and a car in a car like repair bill. And I mean, and it didn't walk on, it didn't fly on water, it didn't do anything amazing. Now it drove like a dream, but still, like every time I saw them, I was dropping like $1,200. Absolutely not. I mean, Tracy, what is that? A duplex?
Courtney, you still love your Benz though, right?
I have a Ford now.
But you still love that Benz, right?
I love the Benz. I'm a driver. Like, and I'm getting a Cayenne. And then guess what? I'm going to buy the Cayenne in cash, and I don't care because they ain't tricking.
Hit the stunt button.
So I have it already set out. It is white metallic with the Bordeaux interior. I already set it up. It's coming. And I'm buying it in cash.
We need a soundboard with a stunt button.
I will be. I'll be like Corey in the car, like, "Hi y'all, how you?"
That's right. All right, let's check out what Jared.
Yo, Kahan, thanks for sharing that though, because there's probably a lot of people like that.
There are a lot of people like that.
Yeah, there are.
This big regret walking away from Amazon RSUs when they were trading at $8.50 per share.
What's an RSU?
RSU is the restricted stock. RSU is a restricted stock unit.
It's compensation.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, it's like employees, right?
Yeah, it's employee compensation. And it's restricted. It stands for restricted stock unit. So it's just basically part of somebody's compensation. So that's what happened. And wow. But I think here's the problem. And I think this is where education comes in. A lot of people get in these jobs with these benefits, but they don't understand their benefits. And nobody explains it to them. Like Monica said about the 457. She said, I wish I invested in my 457 earlier. Well, who's going? I mean, they hand you your 457 like they hand you your dental plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all any of the Drexel folks who are watching this on my page, you're doing these co-ops, make sure you take advantage of those stock options that they give you as technically full-time employees for 6 months.
Yeah. Because the thing about the RSUs a lot of times is that you have to work to a certain date before it actually can become, worth something. So it's like being vested, Malik. Like you get vested at a certain point, so they become worth,
My big deal with the RSUs is they vest no matter what, and once they vest, they become taxable immediately. So it's hard.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that part. So you say as soon as they vest, they immediately that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you have to get to the point that they do, but yeah, and a lot of people just don't understand it, and they see that they may even understand the tax side of it, but they don't see the opportunity because again, you keep it, and it's until you sell it. So it's still a benefit, but the problem is, like I said, it's education. We have a lack of education on these things. So
great points.
All right, Jairus, thanks for the black love. Listen, y'all ain't putting up black love hearts in there. We gotta celebrate Malik and Corey, y'all. Come on.
We posted her.
Thanks, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks, Hermie. Oh, you learned a lot. Okay, cool.
That's good. That's good.
That's why we're here. Oh, C-section. Cool. All right, and so Monica says, "Don't buy Google when it didn't buy Google when it went public." Oh, so when FB went public, I bought a bunch of shares because of FOMO. FB didn't do well out the gate. No, they did not. So as soon as I was at break even, I sold all of my shares. So I know
Monica did. Yep. Sure did. Straight up.
All right, Jerome says my biggest regret was not purchasing a 1-bedroom triplex in Los Angeles in 2010 for $199.
Try to buy that now for $199. You can't even breathe in Los Angeles for $199.
You can't even breathe the air in Los Angeles for that a little bit of money.
Let me tell you, 2007. I'm sorry, no, it was like 2009. We bought a 1-bedroom condo in El Cajon it was a 2-bedroom condo in El Cajon, California, right outside of San Diego for $150K.
Oh my God.
Lord.
The crazy part is, and this is just how crazy life works, as the maturation of the property happened, of course, we were pulling some equity out of it to buy more property in Philly and different stuff. When everything went down with the crash hitting, so I'm sorry, we bought that pre-crash. So this was probably actually more like 2005, now that I think about it. Because when the crash happened, we literally let that property go to satisfy every debt that was about to be underwater.
Gotcha.
And that was the only thing that saved the entire 76 property portfolio was the amount of equity that was still in that property, and that basically made us even.
Wow.
Well,
That was
But
a
if
blessing.
we would have had it to this day,
Yo, that's major right there. But tonight's a created show, so we're going to move on to the next thing. Courtney, you got something to say?
No, I was just waving. I thought we were rolling out.
No. Black Joy moment of the week. Anybody have any Black Joy moment this week?
I got one. The Buy the Hood Facebook page just got monetized. So Facebook is Facebook sent me over the paperwork to fill it out, you know what I'm saying? Because they just monetized our page. So shout out to everybody for supporting our Facebook page, Buy the Hood. And it's all thanks to my legendary memes. But with all that being said, though, that's my Black Joy moment.
So I don't know again if anybody caught that, but that wasn't even a low key stunt. That was
a high key stunt.
That was all the way stunt. But listen, that's dope. Congratulations.
Hey, listen, man, I'm proud of that. Listen, they told me at Facebook only 1% of
never talk about the meme ideas that you give me, but I ain't gonna hold that against you.
Listen, man, you gonna stop making fun of my R&B memes, man? I found my groove with the R&B memes, man.
I see.
I'll be honest. What'd you say, Malik?
I said, I found your groove.
Well, no, I had some before then. You didn't find my groove. Listen, those has all been in the can. Wait, all right.
You got some copyright claims, Jimmy.
No. Listen, those have been in the can, but like the people love the R&B ones. I told Kamari, I said, man, only thing I love more than finance is 90s R&B. So I got about 10 gigs of that.
That's crazy. I have a black joy. I have a black mom joy, kind of black boy joy thing. I don't know.
Okay.
So I told you guys I had this Mastering 7 Streams of Income summit this week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Wednesday I actually had to work on my computer somewhere else. So my stepson actually ended up manning the summit, and that the day of the summit was royalty income and profit income or business income. And he was manning, he was watching the comments. He was kind of, it was a little rocky, but it's fine. He learned a lot. And I said, well, what did you learn from the summit? And he said, well, I learned that you have to set up your business properly the first time, because if you don't set it up properly the first time, then it's really expensive to fix it. And you have to protect the things that you own. My stepson is 14, y'all.
Come on, come on. He gonna be a monster when he get older.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's about.
I love it.
Hey,
I was
tomorrow.
so excited. I was like, yes. I was like,
That's
Ty.
what it's about.
He was, I was like,
I mean, but that's why I like doing these Black Joy moments, right? Because it's little things like that, you know, in this crazy world, this COVID world, but it's stuff like that that just touches your soul, man. I mean, it's great. But Jimmy, what were you saying?
I'm saying before we bounce, could you put up Kelly's comment? Because I think that's something that I see all the time. That's something more. That could be its own show. That could be its own show. But I think a comment gotta get highlighted.
Kelly, girl.
Oh, I didn't even see that, Kelly. Kelly, I'm gonna pray for you, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, check our page tomorrow. I got a meme coming out just about that. But anyway, that's kind of.
All right, Samantha said biggest regret is knowing nothing about index funding when I started investing. Didn't know what you don't know, but I'm sure wish I knew then. All right, but you know now, so keep going.
If you don't know, now you know.
That's right.
the next time to plant is yesterday, and the next time to plant is now.
So one more Black Joy moment real quick, let you go, is a friend of mine, one of my best friends, manages the Hamiltons, and I heard a piece of their record, the album coming out this Friday. It's a masterpiece, man. I right now is really rocking, man. So the Hamilton, they got a whole free concert coming out on live on Friday, and I heard the music, man. Jim, if you R&B dude, tune in. The Hamilton's got a crazy album coming out this Friday, man. I promise, it's crazy.
You already know. I was about to ask you anything I can think I could chop up already, but I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go chop something up.
Hey Don, I don't see this. I would love to see this little girl who won the contest on Google.
Yeah, the Google Doodle. The Google Doodle. Yeah, someone inboxed me about that.
Jimmy, what is it?
It's like the Google Doodles. You know the doodles they do on their homepage. There was a black girl. Someone has sent me an inbox about it. Yeah. So I do know what he's talking about. It's
she won the regional contest, and now she's in the national contest.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
exactly. So she's competing to be like you know, the main person, but she won the regional one. But it's a young black girl. She's an artist. So
and now she's part of the national Google contest because she won her regional contest.
Oh, that's too
wild. My Black Joy moment, you know, y'all was just trashing marriage, but you know, y'all put it out there for me. But you know, I've been married today 11 years. So my Black Joy moment is, you know, the woman that puts up with all my trash, you know, my trashy habits. The greatest woman on God's green earth.
I heard that.
Listen, man. Listen, I got trash human being behaviors, man, and she's good at making sure that those behaviors don't cost us big
Salute
time.
To her, man. Salute to her.
Awesome.
Yes. Salute to your wife.
Big awesome.
So is this Olive Morris? Is this what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that
the
is
Google
it.
Doodles, yes.
Okay, that's dope. Well, salute to her. Salute to her. Salute to her. That's dope.
I love it.
All right. Well, listen, if nobody else has any other Black Joy moments, let's move right along and let's ask our community to support us, because every week we're here, right? So I ask that the community that comes every week, let's support our panelists and whatever endeavors they're doing, because they're taking Bible family away from their business and away from their jobs to come here and serve the community to help increase our financial education so we can take things up a notch. So starting off, Corey, how can we support you?
$COREYCAMP, the Bitcoin Fund. If you like me and you want to see me succeed, send me some money to my Cash App. If you don't like me and you want to see me disappear, you need to send me more money to my Cash App, because I'm going to take that Bitcoin money and disappear. Any money that goes to my Cash App automatically gets put into into the Ether fund with Bitcoin. And so if you want to support me personally, $COREYCAMP for Bitcoin. Thank you. I appreciate your time and your service.
All right, Courtney, what you got?
Yeah. Just I don't follow the Black Wealth Project. You know, follow us. I don't know, have a conversation, join the group. Because we do have really good thought-provoking conversations during the course of the week. So please hop in the group, share those conversations, share your thoughts, and definitely share your thoughts, because a lot of people feel like they're waiting for us to say something. It's like, no, we want to hear from you. So join the group, follow the Black Wealth Project, follow me on Instagram, the Ivy Investor, THEIVY Investor. Yeah. And then YouTube too, like all social media channels, just follow me. But then more importantly, follow the Black Wealth Project and join the conversation.
Gotcha. Jimmy, it's on you, brother.
I would say go to the Buy the Hood YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Buy the Hood YouTube channel, youtube.com/Buy the Hood. Check out some of the videos we got. We got a lot of great videos. We're putting up content pretty much on a daily basis. The one we just had this past Friday, the live we had was amazing. The feedback we had was crazy. We had the options trader we had on, and he was getting all kinds of games. So we got a lot of great feedback. Yeah, appreciate that. We got a lot of great feedback from that episode. And also with the Black Wealth Project, what Courtney said, join the group, but also give us some topics you'd like to see us discuss in the future that pertains to Black wealth, because we want to just create some dialogue around topics that you think are important, not just the stuff that we think is important. So give us some topics for future shows. I think that would be dope.
All right, great ideas. Malik, it's on you, bro.
So yeah, follow me at real estate _coach _Carter. I have the t-shirts available. They go right to myself and my son's trust fund that I'm trying to put up for him. And yeah, that's it, man. Just grab some of these t-shirts that I have myself and some for my son. I really appreciate that.
All righty, Tracy, how can we support you?
My message is always the same. Buy something, own something, get you some real estate, get you something in your name. Follow me if you need help, if you need resources, if you need to just talk through a plan. Real Estate Tracy on Instagram and Tracy P Realtor on Facebook. All
right. And my ask is, everybody, go follow my YouTube page. It's Kamari Ellis. Kamari Ellis, youtube.com/Kamari Ellis. I'm trying to keep up with Buy the Hood. Jimmy keeps stealing on my memes. I'm gonna catch up with him one day. So, all right, you know what? And I forgot this. I gotta say this. So this week, I do have to give Jimmy his props. He was definitely the best week.
Thank you, sir. That's all I want. That's all I'm saying, man. Listen, man. And I don't want to say thank you for the support though, because our meme's been going crazy. Like the Rod Wave one got like 100,000 views, and the other one with what was it? A couple of them R&B ones went crazy. So we got like a couple of 80,000, 50,000, 100,000. So I was like, they shouldn't have showed me like that, because I got a whole. Folks told me they like them. I can't stop now. I appreciate that.
Did he win the week? Is it unanimous?
It's
no. Well, Jimmy. No, listen, Jimmy. This week was popcorn week. I took the week off. This week I was
excuses are mine. You mess with nothing. That said Bill Bridges and no.
I got some fire in the joint. I can't front like no. Jimmy put out some fire joints, but I don't think I posted anything at all on Thursday leading up to Friday. I think I posted anything at all.
Listen, I even dropped one on the weekend. I dropped one Saturday and one Sunday. I got 2 R&B joints this weekend. Like it just don't stop. Like, but anyway, man.
I'm gonna one a day. I'm gonna spread it out. No, like, oh, they come from my neck. Okay, you had to step it up. But listen, I give y'all credit. Y'all made me,
get heavy into my bag, because I was like, okay, they trying to compete. They trying to come for the crown. So now I gotta
And Jimmy,
I gotta let my hand go.
Jimmy, hey, look, tomorrow, a whole new week now.
That's right. I got some fire in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Kelly, make sure you go check the Buy the Hood IG page tomorrow morning. I'm gonna drop something that's similar to your comment. So, we'll go from there.
All right. Well, listen, folks. I appreciate you all for coming up here, showing up every Sunday. We definitely appreciate you. We're definitely honored to be here to serve you as well. But listen, every week, Black Wealth Project, 7 p.m. sharp-ish. We will be here to deliver to you all the fire. That's everything that's going on in Black finance every week at 7 p.m. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Night.
Bye.